I was enjoying my Sunday for about an hour and a couple minutes. And then the second half of this basketball game started, and the Celtics proceeded to slowly but surely blow a 24-point lead that looked the first half insurmountable because the Pelicans weren't doing anything and the Celtics firing on all cylinders. And then, I'm not going to throw things or get angry or yell because I think that's disingenuous. And when people do that, it's just an act. Like, I'm not going to spike my TV or throw a remote through the screen or flip this desk right now or, huck my computer or even my mini me guy here. Because, at this point, why would you be surprised by something like this? If you follow the Celtics throughout the season, this shouldn't shock you at all. Despite the Celtics having a big lead, I tweeted, not to pat myself on the back, but, good job. I tweeted at halftime, great first half. Too bad here comes the second half. And lo and behold, I was right. In the third quarter, the Celtics were outscored 27-24. In the fourth quarter, which has been even worse than the thirds, 34-21, and then 12-7 in the overtime. The Celtics just can't play in second halves of games, and them having a lead going into the fourth quarter might as well mean they're playing 3-on-5, because you cannot tell the Celtics anything worse as far as they're concerned than, hey, you're up double digits in the fourth quarter. That means game over, we've lost. We might as well not even play the fourth quarter if we had the lead by double digits in the fourth quarter. There's just so many things to dissect about this game in terms of where it went wrong. And I don't like to have these videos be super long because it's sort of just instant analysis and instant reaction. And you would think, man, he's a diehard Celtics fan. I watch all these games. I do the reaction for all of them. Like, I love the Celtics, obviously. Look at all this stuff. Like, man, why isn't he pissed and throwing stuff? Because, again, like, why should I expect anything different? This team, you don't suddenly fix things by getting a random win over the Nuggets and then splitting 2 games with the Hawks. Why should I have thought things, or anybody who thought things were on the right track for the Celtics? They haven't been all season long, and they've shown no resilience to anything this year. So when the Pelicans started making their comeback, I had no faith that the Celtics were going to be able to stand up and say, hey, not here, not today, and, draw a line in the sand, because they haven't done that all year long. They don't listen to their coach. They've completely tuned him out. His rotations and substitutions don't make sense. The minutes he allocates to certain players don't make sense. The times that they play don't make sense. The players don't give 2 shits what he's saying. The body language on the court is terrible. You have guys who just absolutely cannot shoot. Kemba Walker, God bless him, great guy, good leader, cannot shoot anymore, and yet continues to shoot the ball. It's Daniel Tice taking big threes at certain times and just missing everything. It's maddening, and I don't think that this team has any chemistry right now. I don't think that they have any good vibes or good feelings about where they are. The roster is it's not suspect. It's bad. The roster is bad. The coaching has gotten bad. I just put this out as an example of bad coaching at the end, because everybody, and this is really something that annoys me. If anything was going to make me turn over the desk or punch something, not a person, because I'm not going to assault anybody, is that nobody circles the wagons for Brad Stevens like the Celtics media. If you cover the Celtics, for the most part, virtually everybody who covers the team, and listen, I'd love to get paid to cover them, but I'm independent, and I value my independence because I don't have to say nice things about the team when they don't deserve nice things said about them. So I feel comfortable criticizing them. But the media for the Celtics will not criticize Brad Stevens, and it's maddening. That frustrates me more than anything, because listen, the players are obviously at fault. No one's saying the players aren't at fault. It's much easier for one to get rid of a head coach, and two, despite him being a nice guy, he's at plenty of fault for this too. Like I said, the rotations I've been saying, I mean, you guys have been watching. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. They don't make sense. The substitutions don't make sense. But then today, the cherry on top was, you are down by 3. You know you only have one possession left, 11 seconds left. You know the Pelicans are going to foul because you're up by 3. It depends on the play you call. You want a clean look at a 3. Instead, they called an ISO at the top of the key. This is my signal for ISO, I guess, for Jason Tatum, who, if you've read a scouting report or watched a single game, is going to dribble the ball into the ground and try to pull up for a 3 to win, to tie the game. That's just what he's going to do. So Josh Hart, being a good defender who I'm assuming has seen Jason Tatum play once in his life at least, knew that, hey, we're only up by 3. They can't beat us at the free throw line here. I'm just going to let him kill clock and then foul him, because that's what the Celtics presented to them. Instead, the logical call is call some screen actions and get a guy an open look for a quick trigger pull from a 3. You had a lot of three-point shooters on the floor, minus Rob Williams and Kemba Walker. I'm not considering a three-point shooter because he was 1 from 12 for 3 tonight, so that's not a three-point shooter. But you had Brown, Pritchard, and Tatum. None of them worked off screens. They just gave it to Brown, top of the key. Tatum, top of the key, and let him dribble the ball. Was content to let him dribble the ball out until time expired and take a 3 then to send it into double overtime. The Pelicans simply weren't going to allow that because they're not idiots. And so that I just don't understand that call at all. And that's just a microcosm of, I just don't think the coaching staff's putting effort or thought into this anymore. I don't think the players listen to them at all. I think they're seeing confusing rotations and confusing minute allocations and saying, why should we listen to this guy anymore? It's not working. I've been saying now for weeks, he's not long for the job. This is going to be the last season Brad Stevens coached the team. I feel pretty confident in that. With every growing loss and terrible loss, I feel more and more confident in that. Tatum, his body language is so bad. He had a good game tonight, including 2 huge buckets to send it in overtime, but his body language is terrible. Other guys on the team seem just like sullen and not happy to be here at all. It's the season again. I wrote in the description, find a new low point. It's just been low point after low point, setting the bar lower and lower. And again, why should you expect it to be any different? I'm sure the Celtics will find a new low point. They'll blow a 30-point game lead this season, probably. There's just no reason to believe this is going to Aaron Gordon, Andre Drummond. None of those guys is going to solve what is an inherent chemistry problem and full-on roster problem and coaching problem and attitude problem and culture problem right now. It's just not – this is not a good Celtics team. They're not good in any aspect of the game right now. And least of all, consistency. And if you want to be taken seriously, you need to be a consistent team. And the Celtics are as inconsistent as it gets. And you see that not just in the course of a few weeks, you see that in the course of games where they play 2 great quarters, 2 crap quarters, 1 good quarter, 1 bad quarter. It's maddening, and Celtics fans deserve better than this. This is really just, it's been a pathetic season, and this is a new low point of what's been a complete season of low points. So, I'm frustrated more than anything, honestly. I'm frustrated that this keeps happening. Just because it's a post game, I'll go through the box score because I feel morally obliged to do it. Starters, Tristan Thompson, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 30 minutes. I thought he played fine when he got in there. I thought he got a bum foul call on Zion Williamson when Zion sort of bowled over him. They called an and one. A key moment. I'm not sure why that was a foul on Tristan Thompson. Don't know what else he's supposed to do there. He played fine. No complaints about Tristan Thompson tonight. Jason Tatum was the best player for the Celtics tonight. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. I still don't love the body language on him at all. He played well tonight. 3 of 7 from 3, 10 of 24 from the floor. Daniel Tice, 5 points and 6 rebounds and 3 blocks in nearly 40 minutes. I didn't think he played well at all tonight. 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 7 from the floor. He got 39 minutes tonight. Robert Williams got 21. Make of that what you will. It's this is the sort of stuff that really frustrates me. Kemba Walker, 36 minutes, 14 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, 2 blocks somehow. 5 of 21 from the floor, the big number. 1 of 12 from 3. I posted a picture of him shooting a watermelon on my Twitter because that's what it looked like. I mean, those things were not coming close. They were clunking off the rim, just absolutely thundering off the rim. He can't shoot. When Kemba Walker is a good shooting night, it's an anomaly now. These bad shooting nights, these terrible shooting nights, that's the standard. That's what it is. Can't shoot anymore. I don't know if it's the knee or whatever, but he can't shoot. You cannot rely on Kemba Walker to be a good 3-point shooter. He's not going to knock him down consistently. When he does, it's an aberration. He absolutely cannot shoot. You can't trust Kemba Walker to be a 3-point shooter anymore. The sample size is big enough to say it's done. It's over with. Jaylen Brown struggled shooting tonight too. 7 of 23 from the floor, 3 of 10 from three. He did come in with 25 points though, and 9 assists. So he was doing 6 rebounds. He was doing other stuff. Not a great game from Jaylen Brown, despite the 25 points, but the 9 assists were certainly helpful. Then the bench, Shemi Ojeleye, 14 minutes, 3 points, nothing there. Aaron Nesmith played hard in his 27 minutes. He had 10 points, 5 fouls, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. I liked what I saw. He hustles a lot. I think that a team will be very interested in acquiring him as the Celtics continue to feature him as their guy that they're dangling in a trade. Robert Williams, I thought, was the second best Celtic tonight. 21 minutes off the bench, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks, 8 points. I feel like I'm doing this every game again. More reason to get frustrated. 21 minutes. He's been their best center. He's their best center. They don't play him as much as the other guys. Another reason I'm frustrated with Brad Stevens and the Celtics media defending it. Peyton Pritchard, 17 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor. Didn't really have much of an impact in this game. I will say this with Peyton Pritchard. The calls are going to get louder for him to start as Kemba Walker continues to struggle. Is Peyton Pritchard as good as Kemba Walker is right now? No. It's silly. It's foolish to even debate that. But he is a better 3-point shooter. He's a more reliable 3-point shooter than Kemba Walker is right now. So I do think it's fair to pull back on Kemba's minutes and push up on Pritchard's minutes. I'm not saying Pritchard deserves to start over him right now. I think that's way too soon to do that, to anoint him to that. These Kemba can still get to the basket and do some nice things. But we talked about this before. Kemba's contract's a problem now. It's a massive problem. The Celtics are going to have to figure out a way to get out from under it because this isn't going to work. This isn't a long-term thing that is going to be sustainable for the Celtics. They have somebody who potentially could take over that point guard spot in Pritchard, in time. They got to move on. Got to figure out a way to move on. Eat draft picks, to send out draft picks to make it work. That contract can't stay in the books. It's brutal. It's really brutal. And a night like tonight is exactly why it's brutal. So, man, this is a tough one. I mean, really, really a tough one. The Celtics just, they continue to not be able to get out of their own way because a lot of this stuff is self-inflicted. And, some of it is external with the roster not being good. But, when you have a 24-point lead and blow it, that's self-inflicted wounds. So I'm with you. Everybody who's frustrated. I'm beyond frustrated. I don't see any hope of the Celtics making any noise in the playoffs this year. I think they are first-round exit pretty clearly. And I think Brad Stevens is done after this season. I think that if Danny Ainge wasn't so beloved by the media and by the ownership, I think he would very possibly be done too. But he'll still stick around. But I feel confident Brad Stevens is done. I think that if Danny wasn't so close with Brad Stevens, then they actually would pull the trigger at the All-Star break because it gives a team to sort of a coach a new chance to acclimate a little bit. But they won't do that. It's just run its course. And this Celtics season, can't end soon enough as far as I'm concerned. But I'll still be here doing these post games, and I will, give you my honest opinion because, again, I'm not in the team's pocket at all. I'll tell you exactly what I think, and I appreciate you all for watching, and I appreciate you guys commenting and liking and subscribing and telling people to watch and check it out. So I will talk to you after the next Celtics game. We'll see if they can either put something nice on the court or set a new season low. Neither would surprise me. I'll be back at it then. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I will talk to you later. See ya.